So your church is considering adopting the Passions. How exciting! It's possible that now that you have learned a lot more about the Passions, you've realized that it's difficult and a complicated work, that there is a very large need amongst them. Maybe one of you, deep down inside, is feeling those desires of going, of doing something. But then you think, well, I can't move to Afghanistan or Pakistan, and I can't translate the Bible because I don't know Pashtun. So what can I do? The good news is that there's something your church can do. It's called the adoption of an unreached people. We call this process adoption because it's a serious commitment. If my family decides to adopt, we could not, after already adopting a son or daughter, decide that it's too difficult and return them back. Adoption is a permanent commitment. In the same way, as a church with an unreached people, if you decide to adopt a people group, you need to walk with them and look to bring the gospel to them permanently. It is not a commitment to be taken lightly. This adoption has 5 stages. The first is learning. During the learning stage, what you need to do as a church is inform yourself. Inform yourself all you can about who the pastors are in order to learn. To share this with the leaders of your church and with the congregation, so that everyone can know about these people who need the gospel. The more you learn, the more information you have that the Lord can use to invite others to hear the voice in regard of these people. In this step as well, you want to pray. Pray asking the Lord to help you understand if these people who don't know the gospel but should is a burden that God desires to give to His church. If this is God's plan for your church, we can advance to the second step. The second stage of adoption is commitment. In this stage, what you need to do is calculate the cost. You want to see how difficult it is to reach the pastors, how much time and effort it will take, and see if we're willing to commit permanently to bringing the gospel to the pastors. If we do not think and calculate the cost of this now, when things get harder later, we will want to give up. But if we were informed before, and even still, with that information decide to make the commitment for the pastors before God, we can ask Him for strength to maintain us long term. Investigate. Once your church has made a decision for the pastor, the third stage is to investigate. Investigate means that you want to learn information about the pastor's needs. In this stage, investigate the pastors and also investigate your church. When you investigate your church, you're trying to find out about what strengths do your church have. If your church has something that they do very well, like maybe it has a team of medics, and you will investigate of the pastor's needs, you find that they need medical help in those countries. You can realize that this connection could lead to something, like a short-term mission trip to serve the pastors. Or maybe you realize that the pastors need a lot of prayer, and your church happens to have a strong prayer ministry where you can share information about the pastors with other churches as well, so all of you can pray for them. You want to find these points of connection, so your church becomes involved with the pastors where it is necessary. What is done in this stage is look at all of the candidates that are going to be involved directly with the pastors, and we need to be sure to train them well. Stage 4. If someone from your church is going to live among the pastors, we want you to know how to learn their language, how to work as a team on the field, how to share the gospel in this context, security, and various other things. Without these tools, it is possible that things will not go well on the field. And it's not only them, but you'll also want to train the congregation that sends them. For example, if Julie here wants to go to the field to share the gospel with the Passion, but Marcos puts on Facebook, "We are so proud of our missionary Julia who is going to Afghanistan to share the gospel." Julia will probably have problems being on the field, maybe with her visa, with the government, or other groups. So we don't want only Julia to be trained, instead Marcos and the rest of the congregation also informed of how to get involved with the Pastures. Stage 5. The last stage is the stage of involvement. This is the fun part where people from your church can finally work directly with the Pastures, learning the language, forming friendships, sharing the gospel, and seeing God move in their context. It is a beautiful stage, but one that you need to persevere in for a long time. What you don't want to do during this stage is think that we have finished. You want to continue growing and learning constantly. Evaluate what you're doing on the field and see what you need to do better. And as you continue to learn, also share it with other churches about what you know and encourage them to get involved with the Passions.